Hi Scorpio, happy early birthday to those of you who celebrate in October, and welcome to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your October 2020 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as personal readings go, I'm still taking a break from those. I'm not sure when I'm going to pick them back up yet, but if I do so soon, I'll make an update in the community section of the channel. As far as what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread as always, and I also pulled some Oracle cards and a Mudra card for you guys, so we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Hermit. So this is the major arcana card for Virgo, and technically at the time I'm recording this, we're still in Virgo season. But really what I feel like this is saying for a lot of you, you could just be in a bit of an introspective mood. And I could see that happening for a couple reasons, astrologically speaking. For one, obviously in October, we're going to have that Libra energy, which for you guys is your 12th house, which could tend to have people withdraw. Maybe you'll be feeling a little bit low on energy around that time. And then also the fact that we have Mars in your 6th house, which is the house that Virgo naturally rules, and we have Mars retrograde there. So you might just be feeling a bit low on energy. Some of you might even feel like, a little bit out of whack as far as your health goes. If it's any sickness or anything, I feel like it would come and go pretty quickly. It might be one of those things that flares up, but then it leaves almost as soon as it came. So wouldn't necessarily worry about it being a long-term thing. But yeah, I feel like you guys might just be conserving your energy this month, really going inward and reflecting, just thinking things over a lot. All right, and the challenger obstacle position, we have the Magician in reverse. So for some of you, part of the reason why you might be going inward could be because maybe you feel like there's someone around you that might be being deceptive with you, or this could even just be saying that maybe you guys are feeling like you have a little bit of inability to manifest things right now, so you could really be going inward and trying to reflect on, okay, why can't I bring this into being, right? So you could just really be reevaluating moves that you're making, right? Why might your energy be a bit off? Again, with the Magician in reverse, I also could see that pointing to you guys possibly feeling like you're a bit low on energy as well. So maybe you're just feeling a bit drained this month. But yeah, it can be, like I said, for some of you also that there might be someone in your environment that you're still trying to decide if you can trust them or not. So maybe doing a bit of detective work there, as you guys are prone to do anyway. In the foundation position, we have the 8 of Wands. So this usually represents a lot of activity taking place. This is Sagittarius energy, which for you guys is your 2nd house too. So for some of you, this can be around finances. But primarily, I'm picking up on this being something more happening in your environment, and you're not directly involved with it. Just because of those energies I see there, like I said, I feel like you guys are a bit withdrawn for the time being. So that could even be what it is too. You might want some peace and quiet, and maybe you're having a bit difficulty getting that, right? Because maybe people are putting a lot of demands on you right now, and you're trying to get that time to withdraw, recharge your batteries, and you might feel like you're getting pulled every which way. On top of that, 12th house energy we talked about, as far as the sun being in Libra, you're also going to have that Mars retrograde we're dealing with right now, but then also in October, around the middle of the month, we're going to have Mercury go retrograde in your sign. So a whole lot of energies that could point to you really wanting to withdraw, just get away from the fray for a little bit this month. And it could just be saying that your environment around you might be a bit busy, so it could be a little bit difficult to do so. In the past position, we have the 10 of Cups. So I do have to say, given the fact that the Hermit in a way is looking over in that direction, that could be what you guys are trying to figure out. Maybe that 10 of Cups energy has been something that's eluded you up to this point. And like I said, as far as that energy where you feel like you're having a bit of difficulty manifesting it, could just be saying that maybe that's what you're reevaluating. Like, okay, why is this one area of my life not progressing the way I hoped it would, right? And so that could be what's at play for some of you there. So maybe there's a little bit of difficulty with your romantic life. For example, we had that full moon in Pisces recently. So there could have even been some issues that might have popped up around that time for you guys with a connection. And maybe you're thinking to yourself, all right, why am I spinning my wheels with this connection, right? Just trying to figure out what's going on with the situation there. All right, in the present position, we have the Hanged Man. So again, very similar energies to what we were already talking about with the Hermit and the Magician, but this technically is Pisces energy here. So again, I just feel like this is pointing to all of that 12th house energy you guys are going to have this month. And then, like I said, also that Mercury retrograde that'll be coming up in October. That's going to also slow things down for you guys and have you feeling a bit introspective, really thinking things over before making a move. So I feel like at the end of this, there probably is some kind of a maneuver. Looking at some of the other cards I see in the spread, a big move that you're considering, but you could just be trying to make sure you get the timing just right, make sure you have all of your facts straight before doing so. So that could be part of what this hesitancy is on your part too, where you're really trying to evaluate, like, okay, this is going to be a big move I'm making here. Let me make sure I really have everything exactly the way I want it before I actually take that action. But yeah, it looks like you guys are just really, again, withdrawn this month. All right, in the near future position, we have the Seven of Swords. So this definitely calls back to that energy we see there with the Magician in reverse. So there can definitely be someone in your environment that might be being deceptive in some way. I do have to say, since this is Aquarius energy, for some of you it could be someone, even possibly a relative, because that represents the 4th house for you guys, or maybe just someone that's very close to you. So in your home environment a lot, maybe a close friend. So this can be one of those things where whomever this is, I feel like the main issue here is they might be the type that gives you part of the story. Or for some of you, this could even be because 4th house also is things that we tend to learn from our early upbringing. And we keep those things with us. And sometimes they don't serve us later in life. So, for example, this can be a tendency that you had from childhood that might get in the way of you manifesting some things as well. So, for example, you might get some of the facts and then run with it, right? That's the visual I'm getting with this, where he has the 5 swords there instead of all 7. So it's like, all right, you have part of the story, and then you draw the conclusion the rest of the way on your own before you actually observe all the facts. And some of you might have that keen awareness of this month too. So that could be why you have that Hermit energy, where you have that Hangman energy, because you might come to that realization that, okay, you know what? In the past, I've done this way. It's gotten in my way. Let me actually make sure, let me be extra cautious this time, basically, you know what I mean? So you might actually go a little bit overboard, but just to compensate for the fact that in the past you might have jumped to conclusions in the past and might have derailed some things for you guys. I would also say if you're selling something this month, this is going to sound pretty random, but let's say it's something like maybe that a relative gave to you years ago, right? And you're like, okay, I'm ready to part ways with it now. Be careful around selling something like that this month, or even a home as well, because again, representing that 4th house energy, because I feel like you might get less than what it's worth. So just be mindful of that, especially with that Mercury retrograde energy coming up as well. All right, in the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Chariot. So this is Cancerian energy here, and also for you guys, that's your 9th house. So I feel like this is you coming out of that energy. Like I said, where maybe you might have even overthought a situation with the Hermit and the Hangman, where you really withdrew, thought about things from every possible angle. We also have the 9 of Swords at the bottom of the deck too, which is another indicator of you guys really overthinking things, having a lot of anxiety, maybe having difficulty sleeping. But with this energy showing up here, I do see that as a positive indicator. That's to say, okay, you take your time, you do your due diligence, and then you move forward. Now, still be mindful that 7 of Swords energy is at play. So like I said, I would see that as more of a situation where maybe if you were selling something, or also if someone gives you some information and it seems a bit off, just understand that they might just be giving you part of the story. So try not to jump to conclusions, but at the same time, try to figure out what pieces of that puzzle might be missing. Maybe you might even ask them directly, like, wait a minute, is that the whole story here or what? But I do have a feeling that if that's the situation, it's someone who deliberately knows that they're only giving you some of the information, But yeah, just something to keep in mind there. But this does look like you're ready for some forward movement. This is a very positive card in that regard, too. This is one of the luckier cards in the Major Arcana. So looks like you will actually be able to make some positive forward momentum this month. All right, in the environment position, we have the Fool. So, to me, this is a bit of a cautionary thing there, too, like I was saying, because if we look at the Seven of Swords, he's looking right at the Fool. So, this could just be saying, by all means, make that move, right? I mean, if we look at the guy in the Chariot card, I mean, they're definitely covered up, right? So, something to keep in mind there as far as compared to this person. So, still moving forward, but guarded, right? As opposed to just being totally open. So, like I said, especially if you're trying to sell something this month or possibly even buy something, just be mindful that you might not get the actual value for what it's worth, or they might, again, sell you something for more than what it's worth. So just be cautious around that, because I feel like given that he's looking right at the Fool card, that could just be a warning for you guys to not be too quick to jump into something this month, especially with all the energies we mentioned that are at play this month as well. But if you do so with that Chariot there, I feel like that is a more powerful energy in this regard. So I feel like ultimately, as long as you do your due diligence, you'll be able to get some forward momentum. And if you are buying or selling whatever, you can have a positive outcome in that regard. All right. In the hopes or fears positions, we have the Three of Wands. So this is Aries energy here. This can be around the workplace for some of you because, like we said, Aries for you guys is your sixth house, and that does often represent the workplace. And combining that with this energy could just be saying that you're looking for some recognition. So maybe some of this was around your workplace for you, where you're like, okay, I've been putting in the work here. Why am I not getting a raise, right? So that would be a perfect example where they might tell you, oh no, we can't really give you a raise right now, or they might just give you a smaller raise than what they could give you. So just watch out for that too. That could be what's at play, where you guys are kind of wondering, like, okay, I put in my work, I did everything they asked me to do. Why am I not getting the rewards for that? Because the Three of Wands energy represents waiting for your ships to come in. And with that Mars retrograde in your sixth house, that could be something that might come to light for you guys this month too. If there's someone in your workplace that could be being a bit deceptive in some way, that might come to light this month too. So be on the lookout for that. Early in the month, we're going to have that full moon in Aries too. So might even be early in the month when you guys find that out. Something to keep in mind there. And then the outcome energy is the Six of Cups. So pretty positive energy to end up on. For one, this is Scorpio energy, represents the middle 10 degrees of Scorpio. So especially if you guys have your Scorpio placement in those degrees, this might resonate with you a little bit more. But yeah, this often people look at this as a reconciliation card, but I also see this, I always say it's the being the bigger person card as well, because it looks like this person's extending those flowers there, and obviously it looks like there's a size difference between the two of them. So that's what makes me think of that term. But yeah, it could just be saying that you might reconcile with someone. Again, maybe this is something that after your detective work, right, if you realize maybe there was something where you might have had part of the story and acted on that, or like I said, just some scenario where you might have had something from your early upbringing that might have led to you sabotaging some situations. You might come out of that. Likewise, it can be another person as well that might be extending that to you if they were possibly the ones who were in that situation. But overall, that's the type of energy I see there, where someone really goes inward, does a lot of reflecting, comes out, realizes that, okay, this is the part I played in it, right? And then possibly getting that fresh start there. And then in that regard, that's what that Fool energy could be saying in that regard. Like, okay, let's let bygones be bygones, right? Start over, have that fresh start. So, and that could happen in retrogrades sometimes as well. Usually we say it's not a good time to start something new, but sometimes you do get to see things from a different angle from previous situations, and that actually might shed some light on something that you might not have seen clearly the previous time. So hopefully that resonates with you guys. Now moving on to your oracle cards. First we have exchanging gifts. There's the artwork, and the number is 27. Oh, sweet. Open right to that page. It says the law of giving and receiving, currency, trade-offs, weighing cost, and determining value. The oracle's message. You're entering into a productive and enriching time when all manner of opportunities are being offered to you. You have everything you need to seize them. Yet in order to honor them, you must put in the time, exchange your experience and skills, and commit heart and soul to what you're choosing to pursue. You can do it. You have what it takes to be successful if you align with the law of giving and receiving. You must engage in a dance of give and take, push and pull, doing and being. If you let fear guide your choices, you could deplete yourself or create an imbalance. This is not a time of just do, do, do. Use your currency wisely and be mindful of the value others bring to your life. Definitely an interesting message there. And then it did make me think of one other thing too with that Seven of Swords, which I do mention to people sometimes, and just reading that made me think of this as well. Be mindful of taking shortcuts this month too. So think of this as like promising something by a deadline, right? Like, oh yeah, I could totally get all 7 of those reports due or something like that, right? But really, you're only able to get 5 done. So that's another way that could play out too, especially if you guys, like I said, it looks like you might feel like you're a bit low on energy, maybe just a bit stuck in your head, so maybe you're not totally in it as far as your work life goes. So keep that in mind as well. Nothing major, but just wanted to mention that. All right, the relationship message says love is an exchange of life force energy between two beings. It grows exponentially when it's reciprocated. You must give and receive in order for love to flourish and abundance to flow between you. Spirit wants you to start accepting all the blessings waiting for you, as well as offer the same gift in return. Open your heart and allow it to be filled. Let love in and let it flow out of you, too. Love is truly yours today. So, definitely a pretty positive message there. And like I said, we do see that Fool card energy, the Chariot, and then the Six of Cups. So, definitely some positive energy in those positions. So, there's definitely some potential for positive movements in that area of life as well. And then prosperity message says all your hard work and efforts, your commitment to learning, creating, and spending your time wisely pay off in ways you may not have been anticipating. The gifts of yourself, your time, your ideas, and the energy of your intentions are being reciprocated by the universe, which is sending you signs and signals, aligning synchronistic meetings and opportunities to bring you success, and more. Everything is an exchange. Keep doing what you're doing. Goodwill comes back tenfold. So definitely a cool message there too, especially the goodwill comes back tenfold, another indicator that if this is you guys, just be mindful that, hey, try to keep everything above board this month, because if so, you will be rewarded. And likewise, if this is someone doing something shady to you, understand that by not, directly coming at them, the goodwill in your favor means karmically you would be paid back in a positive way if someone's been doing something shady in your environment too. So pretty much a win-win there too. So hopefully that resonated. And it was speaking about the synchronistic parts as well. That makes me think of last month that I was telling you guys to watch out for synchronicities. So could be a theme that continues for you in October. All right, moving on to the next deck. We actually had 2 cards that came up from this deck. The first one we have is Chameleon Spirit. It says act as if. There's the artwork, and the number is 14. Okay, it says Chameleon Spirit shares her gift with you today to prepare you for changes that will greatly benefit you. Outer conditions are changing, and you're required to come into harmony with them so you can co-create your greatest dream. Feeling sensitive? Good, because that will come in handy, enabling you to determine how best to adapt to your environment and the people in it, while at the same time maintaining your integrity and inner equilibrium. Even if you feel like you're in uncharted territory, Chameleon Spirit has complete faith in your ability to fit in and learn the lay of the land, adapting as necessary. This is a fortunate time to act as if and do as others do until the new ways feel familiar and completely natural. Life is offering you a great lesson now. Adapting isn't about losing yourself, it's about learning how to dance with others. So definitely an interesting message there too. Especially for some of you, maybe you're starting a new job. Maybe that's part of what this is as well. So maybe you're in a new work environment and you're just feeling a little bit unsure of yourselves in that regard too. So hopefully that resonated with you there. And then the next card we have is Bee Spirit. It says sweet results await. There's the artwork, And the number is 7. Okay, it says the Bee Spirit's message is that sweet rewards are on their way if you are willing to get your ego out of the way and immerse yourself in the connected energy of all things. Bee Spirit knows not to let a sense of being a separate self get in the way of a good thing. Spirit is always producing honey. Miracles and magic are everywhere. When you connect with the great hive, you are vibrating and buzzing in exquisite harmony with all. Bee Spirit asks that your focus be on connectivity. Your body, heart, soul, and psyche experience total interconnectedness and a true integration when you self-forget, when you remember that you are part of a greater, unified consciousness. Moving from separation into connection, from self-centered limitation to spirit-centered infinite possibility and potential, you become busy as a bee, enjoying the gifts of Bee Spirit. Fully in alignment with your highest expression of yourself, your heart opens and creativity rushes through you, seemingly without effort, as you experience that nothing feels like work. Industriousness is driven by enthusiasm and inner motivation, and time seems to fly by quickly as the hive supports you in the making of honey. Do you feel the presence of your helper in the hidden realms adding their energy to your creations? Magical results are taking form and will be sweeter than you expect. Bee Spirit wants you to remember that your part in the divine partnership with the conscious universe is being rewarded, even if you can't see that yet, and ask that you share your good fortune as there is plenty of honey for all. Be a part of the larger whole, the force that brings forth all that is sweet and delightful. All right, well, bees are quite talkative, so not surprised that was a long message, but hopefully that resonated with you guys as well. And finally, we have a Mudra card. And the mudra you guys got for this month is Anahata Chakra Mudra. Sorry, my voice is like shot now, but there's the mudra there, and the keyword for it is compassion. Alright, there's the info on it if you guys wanted to pause it or take a screenshot to see what it has to say, but it says activates Anahata Chakra, improves the health of the heart, lungs, and breast, regulates breathing, expands feelings of compassion and love, increases healing abilities. So if that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of that mudra in the description of the video as always. Once again, happy birthday to those of you celebrating October, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.